Hello, PTO Maxers. I'm Noel, and I work a 9 to 5 so that I can travel 5 to 9 weeks out of the year. Today, I want to talk to you about how to pack for a long-term trip using only a carry-on and a personal item. This is particularly topical for me and top of mind right now because I am packing for a 16-day trip to Vietnam. And you guessed it, I am only bringing a carry-on and a personal item. When I first started traveling, especially internationally, the idea of bringing just a carry-on and a personal item seemed really daunting to me. I always felt the need to pack an entire piece of checked luggage, but I've learned since then it's really cumbersome to do that every time, both financially and especially if you're moving around a lot when you travel, physically. I suppose it's something you could call character growth, the fact that I started by checking a bag every single time, and now I want to avoid it as much as humanly possible. If there's one thing I hate, it's waiting in baggage claim forever, trying to fight amongst the shoulders of dozens of people around you to try and find your piece of luggage, being a little bit stressed someone else might pick it up, that something might have happened to it. One of my good camera lenses got broken on a trip for this reason, and I will never forget that experience. Not to mention the fact that checked baggage fees can get really crazy these days. Last summer, I was forced into a carry-on only situation when I was traveling to Turkey and then Greece because the checked baggage fees for that trip for an individual flight, and mind you, I was doing 3 international trips, was like $200. Historically, I've been used to eating the, $50, $60 fee for checking a bag, which is already a lot of money. I could have probably planned a lot of other vacations with just the money I spent checking bags in the day. And also, depending on where you're going, you could get an entire suitcase worth of luggage or things for the round trip cost of checking a bag. But now that costs have gone up so much, it's really forced me into this position, which many travelers have told me to do in the first place. And really, I should have listened. But also, can we just all agree that charging more than like $60 to take your own things from place to place in one bag should not cost more than like $50 or $60? I really think that should be illegal. Okay, I promise I'm done ranting. Let's get into it. In this video, I'm going to give you 7 solid tips to make sure that you never miss packing a bag again. The first tip is to pack items with multiple functions. If it serves more than one purpose, it's probably a pretty useful item, and it'll save you a lot of packing space. Instead of packing 2 items, you pack just 1. I think this list of items is going to be different from person to person, but a few of my favorites include skin tints that double as SPF. That way you've got makeup and sunscreen all in one, and generally, regardless of where you're going, you're gonna really want sunscreen. First of all, you should be wearing it every single day. But usually if you're on vacation, you're somewhere where the exposure is going to be higher, either somewhere tropical or maybe you're skiing and you've got the blowback from the snow on the mountains as well. My personal favorite is the Supergoop Protectant. I think it goes on really well. It's pretty seamless. You don't really feel it on your skin, and it feels almost more like skincare than it does like makeup, but it gives you a really nice finish. In that same line of thinking, one of the things I miss most whenever I'm traveling is my skincare. I truly have a problem with the amount that I have sitting on my vanity at home, and there's no way that I can pack all of that when I'm traveling, even if I'm checking a bag. But there are some brands that create items specifically for this purpose, or items out there that can serve a dual purpose as both skincare and something like a makeup item so that you're packing in total less. For instance, I love Glossier's Future Dew Solid. I'm someone that loves a little bit of highlighter happening, but packing that as a separate item takes up a little bit of space and it doesn't feel really that necessary. Skincare, however, always feels necessary to me, at least to some extent. The Future Dew Solid is really glossy, so it goes on kind of like a highlighter, but it's also a serum at the same time. I'm wearing it on my eyes and on my cheekbones right now, so if they look a little extra glossy, that's what's happening. My last example of items on the dual purpose list is a claw clip. The obvious function for that one is folding up your hair. You're a hair out of your face or off of your neck at all times girly like I am, especially in the heat, then a claw clip is almost a non-negotiable. But on top of that, it's one of my favorite items to have on flights or for long ferry rides. And the reason for that is that I can use it as a phone stand as well. Please forgive the fact that my phone is extremely dirty, but if I take my everyday standard clip and I just attach it to the back of my phone, it ends up creating something like a phone stand. With it attached like this, I can enjoy media on my airplane table tray, with it sitting kind of facing me instead of completely flat on the tray, which is a little bit hard to see, or having to bring an entire additional item on the plane. Just have my phone sitting upright. This is especially helpful for me because I'm the type of girl that is obsessed with my HBO Max or my Netflix or my Prime Video shows, and I want to be watching the kind of content that I personally really enjoy on the plane instead of just hoping that they have something that maybe I'm interested in. I will throw out there that now I have a Google Pixel Fold phone, so I don't actually have to use the claw clip method anymore. My phone actually ends up folding out like this so that I can watch media pretty easily facing myself without having to bring anything additional on board, which is a huge game changer. It can also fold out like this, and my entire inner screen becomes more like an iPad, which is really convenient for flights, whether I'm reading a book or watching a movie or trying to get some work done. Tip number 2, pack a capsule wardrobe. As someone who loves a statement item, I don't really believe in this for your everyday wardrobe, but for packing for a long-term trip, it's kind of essential. The main thing is having items that you can mix and match with one another endlessly. Imagine you're packing 5 skirts/shorts and 5 tops. If each shirt can be paired with each pair of either shorts or a skirt and they all look good together, all of a sudden you have 25 outfits that you can bring with you. Please excuse my cat, he hates not being involved in things. With only 5 tops and 5 bottoms, all of a sudden you have a 25 unique outfit wardrobe that you can take with you. That is not only incredibly portable, but it helps prevent you from actually getting bored with the outfits in your closet. I think this is one of the key reasons that people end up overpacking for trips is you're worried that you're not actually going to like the options that you put in front of you, or you're worried that you'll get bored, or that you'll have to end up outfit repeating every single day, or at least far too often. With a capsule wardrobe and ideally a washer and a dryer somewhere along your trip, you're able to make it a lot longer with a lot less in your bag. Also, I find that if you've invested in the right pieces, this works out better anyways. I don't know about you, but generally there's not more than 5 pants that I'd like to wear on a regular basis anyways, just because of the level of comfort with them, both in terms of what it physically feels like on my body, but also in terms of how I feel in the outfit emotionally, like whether it feels like it resonates with the type of person that I am and my personal sense of style or not. So what you're gonna wanna do is pick those top items, make sure that they all work to mix and match with one another, and all of a sudden, you have a very easy wardrobe to pack with you wherever you go. Bonus tip, if you are traveling somewhere that manufactures a lot of clothing and does it cheaply, think Turkey or Vietnam, both locations that I myself have traveled or will travel, that's a great place to leave some space in your suitcase and pick up some new items. Again, you should be really intentional about what you're choosing. We're not shopping just for the excuse to shop, though. If you're a retail therapy queen, no shade, pop off. But I'm specifically talking about items that are going to work for that capsule wardrobe. If you don't have it already, leave some intentional space in your suitcase so that you can pick up items along the way. And in general, where possible, leave space anyways. A lot of places have really thriving economies for tourists for the kinds of items you're going to want to bring home. Tip number 3, pack only what you really use. A lot of times people are packing on the basis of what if I need X, and there's a really easy solve for this, which is over the course of a week, maybe 2 weeks before your trip, pay attention to what you're touching, to what you're using on a daily basis. Most of the time, it will not be X or Y or Z. You can survive for 2 or 3 weeks without any item that you're actually using on a daily basis. Either write down or just note it mentally. That is an item that should be coming with you. For me, that's going to be things like a moisturizer, a cleanser, my hairbrush, a hot tool. I specifically have the Wavy Talk interchangeable hot tool, and that's pretty easy to with me, which I really appreciate. For me, that also looks like headphones. They are non-negotiable. I love listening to music. I love watching TikToks or YouTube videos on the go. That has to come with me. If you are still worried about forgetting something that you might need to use, think about how easy it might be to replace that. Things like, okay, what if you break a nail? Normally, you're not thinking about something like whether to pack nail clippers or not. Is it going to be the end of the world if you break a nail and you don't have nail clippers? Probably not. You can pick those up for like $1 to $5 almost anywhere in the world. So if it's not something you're using daily, if it's not something you think about, don't bring it with you. It's just not necessary. My next tip is do not overpack for the plane. Let me repeat, do not overpack for the plane. I'm not really into de-influencing generally, but something that really gets on my nerves is seeing too many people pack face masks and eye masks and lip masks and hair curlers and bento box on bento box of snacks for the plane. The truth is you don't need it. Like really, you just don't. If you're really worried about your skin getting dry on the plane, pack a moisturizer. You probably have that with you anyways for the rest of your trip. You do not need an entire face mask for this. And yes, I understand a single face mask does not make that much of a difference of room in your bag. But when you start adding up all of these unnecessary items that the internet tells you over and over that you need to have, yeah, it makes a difference. Also, generally, I feel like you shouldn't be doing skincare on the plane. One of the main things that you do need on the plane is SPF because the UV is a lot higher when you're in a plane. So generally, you don't want to be taking that off to like moisturize and then have bare skin again. Or you're doing your entire skincare routine over again, fine. But let me challenge you this, could it not wait until you're on the ground? Unless you have some kind of skin condition, the answer is probably it can wait. The bento box of snacks thing, the reason why this kills me is for the rest of your trip, you are going to be carrying around a plastic bento box container that probably you are not using or throwing it away, which is also bad. When you do this, you'll regret not having room for the things that you actually need or the things that you pick up on your trip and want to bring home. And that's because you prioritize an item that's going to make maximum maybe 10, 20 hours of your trip a little bit marginally more comfortable and cheap, rather than focusing on the remaining 72, 144, however many hours of your actual trip. Truly do the girl math. How long are you going to be using that item for versus how long is your entire trip? And would you rather not prioritize that space for something else? A good question to ask yourself generally is how much of my trip am I actually going to be using this specific item for? If it's not more than double digits hours of continued use, probably, again, you do not need it. In no way am I advocating for being an absolute minimalist. I'm just saying try and figure out what makes sense. With the snackle box, the snack bentos, could you not just be packing a pack of chips that you got it in? Same thing with the bag of gummy worms, a Ziploc bag, maybe something that's disposable, easy, collapsible, doesn't take up as much space. Usually there's something else that's going to get that job done.
There are about 100, maybe 1,000 product listings on Amazon for travel blankets and pillows. The truth is you probably do not need them. If you are on an overnight flight or a long haul flight, generally those are items that they are going to give to you on the flight. Are they the best thing in the world? No. But how much of a difference really would it be between those items that you can buy on Amazon or whatever and what they're giving you on the flight? The answer is probably marginal. Do not let perfect be the enemy of the good on a flight. However, something you pretty much always are going to want to bring is a jacket. Even if you are going somewhere warm, often the planes can be freezing cold and you do not want to be caught dead without something to warm you up. Do always bring both a USB charger and a wall adapter. Maybe that's just adding a piece onto your existing charger. Maybe that's two separate items. Sometimes either the screen charger will be broken or there will not be a charger between your seats, the actual plug-in kind. And if you are someone who plans on using your phone at all, this is a pretty big deal. I also never travel anywhere, no matter how short the trip is, without a portable battery. Sometimes you are just SOL and there is nowhere for you to charge anything. And there are some very scary situations you can get into if you do not have your phone charged. I know this is a bit tangential from the tip that I gave you, but now that we're talking talking about things that you absolutely should bring on a plane, do not forget a pen, especially on international trips. Sometimes you will be surprised by a paper visa in person. This has happened to me both in Australia and in Egypt, and if you don't have one, it can be pretty awkward and uncomfortable. In Egypt, they passed around the paper visa on the flight, but they did not pass around pens. I spent a lot of time looking for one both on the flight and in the airport. There were none to be found. I ended up having to do a currency exchange just to be able to give the guy a couple of dollars that was running that currency exchange and ask to use his pen for a few minutes to fill out my form. That was really uncomfortable. I wish that I did not have to do that. So trust me, just bring a pen. This next tip is going to sound a little random, a little crazy, but wear layers on the flight. This is a multifunctional tip. First things first, if you are wearing layers of clothing, those pieces of clothing are not taking up space in your suitcase. There you have it. That's how it connects to today's video. Additionally, you have no idea what temperature the plane is going to be. The AC might be broken. This has happened to me many times over, or the AC might work really, really well, perhaps too well. In the scenario of having a very hot flight, you want to be able to remove layers so you're not sweating like crazy. I have seen people take their actual shirts off because they were doing too much with that shirt and did not have layers underneath. In the scenario that the plane is too cold, even if where you're going is super warm, if you don't have something to layer on, that can be a really miserable flight experience for you. If you're worried about the layers that you're bringing with you, like on your person, it's easy to fit a small piece of clothing into a nook or a cranny than it is to go through an entire painful flight. My last tip is buy it there. One of the biggest reasons to check a bag is because you have large liquids with you, or you're bringing too much in the way of liquid with you to actually be able to bring on a carry-on. I want you to stop that train of thinking before it starts with, you can buy it there. For instance, on my Vietnam trip, I'm going to need an ungodly amount of sunscreen. I truly sunburn like no other, so this is a non-negotiable. Yes, I could check a bag, which not only would lead to a nightmarish experience of having to wait at the baggage carousel everywhere I go in Vietnam, which is like 4 stops, and have to pay additional on all of those flights, or I could simply buy it there. Even if I'm buying it in each destination, that is going to cost significantly less than checking a bag. All it's going to take is one quick pharmacy run and you're done. Trust me, that is an investment that is worthwhile. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, and you like PTO maxing just like me, consider subscribing to my channel and please leave a like below. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll get back to your comments. Also, let me know if there's a favorite tip you have here, or if you thought anything I said was really a hot take that you completely disagree with. We all travel a little differently, so I'm not opposed to hearing different ideas. And with that, I'll see you on the next one. For now, I'm off to write my next out of office. Bye, PTO Maxers.